welcome to Retech, and today we're going to cover a donation that was given to myself about 2 days ago now, and it was from another YouTuber called Retro Guy. So if you have 5 minutes, look him up and then see what he's up to. And it was a really nice thing to do because I went down to see him about something completely different. And I came away with literally a car full. Back seats, passenger seats, boot, the whole lot full of retro computing spares and spare parts. I mean, they're all spare parts, but they will all come in useful for me because I have a lot of projects in kind of the pipeline and lined up, and I've also got quite a few machines that I really want to get around to kind of repairing. So all of these will come in useful, and if anybody else needs any of the bits and pieces, then they're there ready for people to use. So it's great, and it was really nice, and it was really nice meeting him, and we had a little bit of a conversation about everything from trying to save these machines to retro brighting to preserving them, and it was quite a nice few hours. So let's dig into this and let's see what I actually brought back in the back of my car. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, so today we're going to have a look at this big pile of hardware that's been donated to the channel, and it's quite a lot. It was enough to fill a big size saloon car, and we're going to go through some of this today and then find out what we've got and what's in the boxes and what we're going to do with it going forward. Okay, so first up is a SnapScan 1212. It's an Agfa scanner. It's a flatbed scanner. You don't see these anymore. They kind of disappeared in the early 2000s to mid 2000s, and you know, they tended to become built in with printers, etc. But as we all know, if you don't use a printer for a while, such as an inkjet, then either the heads on the inkjet printer start to block, or the cartridges themselves start to go off, so they become fairly useless. Where this is just a basic scanner, and as you can see, it looks like it's going to work. So it's a USB scanner, and the scanner bar seems to move, and it's got a very heavy, thick glass top on it. So it's probably going to be okay. It's probably going to be a good little scanner. So it's one I might actually use rather than put it into storage. So we'll have a look at this a little bit later in the series, you know, to see if we can get this working with a computer of the era, or even a laptop of the era, because I've got quite a few sort of early 2000s laptops. So this could actually be very, very useful. So yeah, this is good. This will be put to use, and could be put to use to scan in some technical documents and things of that nature to kind of store for future use. So yeah, it's we'll get it cleaned up later and we'll put it to good use. Okay, so next we have a Atari motherboard complete with shielding. The board looks complete. It really doesn't look like it's been messed around too much. It's basically got some notes written on here. So it's 512, so it's a basic board with TOS 1.02, and looks like it was pulled out of a machine in 2021. Now I was told that it technically works, but the mouse doesn't work on it very much. The mouse is erratic, so it probably means the keyboard is erratic, and it could be linked to a serial or an I/O chip on board. Not sure, but I believe it's probably the Paula that's causing that, but we'll have a good look at it. But it's a good source of a repair video or a good source of components to repair other Atari STs, which is good because I have quite a few of these, but spares, really working spares, you know, however much they have issues, are getting thin on the ground now. But I'm going to see if I can get this working because I do have a spare case keyboard, and all I have to do is try and sort out a power supply for one of these, which I need to repair one. So this could be a good project to rebuild an Atari ST and save another one from landfill, really. So yeah, this could be very, very useful. Okay, so we've got a spares box here, so I'm just going to literally take the kit out of it bit by bit. Okay, so what we have here is a disassembled power buck. Now most of this kit should be working, so we've got the LCD, we have bezels, and we actually have almost complete laptop, including the lower chassis, which is here. So I think there's everything just about here to almost put this laptop together again. So this may be quite a nice project to do, to find out if we can actually put this together. And other than that, I think, as far as I was told, most of the parts are actually, or do actually work. And things like keyboards with really decent ribbon cables on there are fairly difficult to come by at times, especially in working conditions. So it could be a source of spares for another repair. Okay, so you'll have to forgive the handheld camera because it's probably easier to look inside the boxes. We have another box full of Apple laptop spares, keyboards, LCD screens, batteries, yeah, lots and lots of Apple spares. So I think they're all the same machine, or roughly the same machine, and it might be nice to try and build a complete unit out of these. Again, I believe most of the actual kit works. They were just stripped for certain parts, so there seems to be multiple of the same units in here. So there's a big box of laptop spares for Apple computers, so that's a good thing because we can rebuild stuff and make it work. And the same goes for this box, where we have motherboards for Apple computers. We also have virtually the complete system other than the case. Now it includes the flyback in the corner there, transformer board. This is basically we've got the CRT main unit in there. It looks like it could be from a former or something similar, so I need to check the part numbers on this, but we'll have a good look at it and we'll see what we can do with it. Now apparently these work. Again, it was I think he said it was the casing and some of the parts we needed for another project. There's a little bit of corrosion on there, but you know, as long as they become nice handy spares, that's what we want. So at the end of the day, I have quite a few Apple machines, so these are going to come in very, very handy, and also handy if somebody else has a machine that's dead and they could do with a part. In this box we have some more early laptop parts, including trackpads, casing, bezels, what looks as quite good condition boards, and it's literally full of Apple components, which could come very handy, especially if I'm going to be doing future projects. So that would be good. That would be really very good to kind of use as spares, because as we all know, these capacitors on a lot of these Apple computers are very, very leaky and they destroy boards. So if any spares like this are going to be very welcome in the future. Okay, so in this box we have some old desktop parts, which is quite cool because I know exactly what this board's out of. I've got two of these machines, and although they do work at the moment, they're gonna have a few issues. They're bound to have a few issues in the future, and it's nice to have some spares for them. Although I've probably got way too many spares in here. Casings, bezels, power supplies. But it's not bad, because if somebody has a machine that needs to be repaired and I have the part, well, I have the parts already. Okay, as you can see, we have a Macintosh color display down here. Not sure if that actually functions. It is missing a couple of parts, and another scanner here which could be fairly useful, although it's kind of an old, I think it's SCSI based on this one, so I'll have to find something that we can actually test it on. But you know, it could come in useful if it doesn't, even if it doesn't work for parts. Okay, and here we have some more desktop Apple parts, including transformers, fans, etc., which could all come in useful. And again, they could be good for projects and repairing other stuff. So, and also repairing other people's computers if they've got vintage machines that aren't working. And if I've got a part that will fit, then all the better. It will speed things up a bit. So, you know, it'd be nice to have a few parts kicking about to be able to use for other people's machines if needed. Okay, in this box we have a bunch of keyboard bases for, again, Apple kit. Some of it's in fairly decent order, although I have been told that the keyboards themselves are not very good, but all of the keys should be okay for use as spares. So casings are hard to come by because they're becoming brittle, so it's nice to have a few spare cases and spare keycaps as well. So that's going to be very, very handy, because I do have a couple of Macs that have key switch issues, so I can just basically borrow them off of here if I need to as spares. So I hope you enjoyed that. It was just a very brief video about literally a big stack of stuff that was given to me for this channel, really, for use and to repair other things. And also, there's always something in there that can be used, whether it is a CPU or a memory chip or an LCD panel or a keyboard or keycaps, because as we all know, keys do tend to degrade and keyboards do tend to degrade, and it's very difficult to get hold of certain keys as well once they start breaking down or being lost, etc. So it's a great haul, and I'm going to use more and more of it on the channel as we go forward, and especially the little flat, or rather large flatbed scanner, really. I'm going to basically use it to scan in, you know, technical documents, maybe archive them, etc. And I know I've got a laser printer with a scanner built in and an inkjet with a scanner built in, but the inkjets are pretty unreliable if they're not used for a while. So this could be ideal just to put up on a shelf and use occasionally with one of my old PCs that are currently being used as just recording studios for the MIDI keyboards, etc. So it will come in very, very handy. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you soon. Thanks a lot. See you.